Hi everyone. This is the third video of the first master class. In this video we are already moving on to users, roles and assigning roles to access fields and allocating access line by line. So, let's go to the system tables. The access section is responsible for access. The first thing we need to do is to create roles. We have several roles. I'm going to call it TM1, and the first role we have is user, like this. I'm just going to create them here for now so they'll be. What tables are assigned to them, it doesn't matter. TM1 will be manager. Next we'll have TM1 director and we'll have TM1 accountant. Okay, I'm just going to correct a typo now. Here we go. What are we going to do? We're going to create users. Let's say we're going to have TM1 user. We can't set without a password. So some random password we're going to give him and say he's going to be TM1 user. Okay, save. The next one we're going to have is TM manager. We'll need them for testing. Director, accountant. Okay. Passwords, and that will be TM1 account. That's it. Here we have a complete set. Let's go back to our workshop. Let's go back here to the account. And we can switch here, since we're the system administrator, we can switch between roles. And by the way, I'll tell you a secret right away. You can put, for example, there are users. We can put this pseudo user capability on TM1 director. In this case, he will be able to switch to another user. Not only the system administrator, but also the director. He won't be able to create another user that has the creator role, but he will be able to switch to user. And we can see that access to this table is denied, because we need to allow access to this table for all of our roles. So we go right here in the table settings. These are the permissions, roles to change, who can change tables. And we say that our TM1, TM user, director, account manager, and creator is left, have access to this table. Let's do the same for contractors, and say, but only let us say the following here. The accountant can't create. Let's say that an accountant cannot create a contractor. And to the accountant, right here roles to read, we'll put the role to read only. Roles to change override the role to read. If a person has the role to change, that means that they can read by default as well. Okay. Now we're going to switch to our manager, and we can see that everything is working. It adds, for example, some kind of account. Here we have the user TM1 _ manager. For example, this is an Apple bill. Save. Oh, well, we forgot the amount. 500. So you can't save something without the amount. Let's go back to the admin. We put a thing here called mandatory. Here it is, the field, mandatory. In this case, you can't leave a blank field. So you can't save it like this. There will have to be a mandatory amount here. And then we start doing the following. As you remember, we have these users, and we need a user, for example, a user. But no, not a user. Whoever we have there. A manager. So that the manager can switch between users, or rather, he would even see all of them. But the user, if we are in TM1 user, would not be able to switch between these users. That is, he added here some SpaceX contractors invoice for the amount of $300 or $200, so that he could not switch between them. And we also need to make sure that the user can't put to pay, accept, paid, and so on. Let's start, I guess, with these. This is a simpler story. It's similar to how we did it for the table. We go to the field settings. You can get there quickly by right-clicking. And we say this thing. Editing it is available for roles. Which ones? A user can't, a manager can, an accountant can't. Well, let's assume. Let's make it so that the director can probably change it too. Next, you can't change it when adding it. And let's make a filter here, just in case. Okay. Next. Accepted. We also go right-click here, and say it's editable for roles, also not addable when the line is added. right here in this yellow when the line is added. And here we say who can change it. The director can change it. Creator we always leave it so we can test it. Okay. If we click here, you'll see right here the Add Plus is disabled and editing is allowed for the creator and TM1 director. And here for creator TM1 manager, TM1 director. Okay. And this thing is available for accountant. We'll also put a filter here and say accountant. Here's edit, maybe for creator and for accountant. Okay. And this thing is not visible at all. It's only visible to the creator. We cannot assign permissions here, because when we switch to some user, you see, this field is not there. To quickly hide this field when we're under the administrator, we can click twice on the eye, like this. These fields will be hidden. And this arrow right here, it minimizes the hidden fields up there. Right here, this part, the invisible part. Okay, to bring it back up, one right click on the eye. And if you have a large table and you want to just kind of shorten the look of it a little bit, this is how it works here. You can unhide and you can hide the extra fields like this. If you have something that you're editing that's behind the right side of the screen, you can keep them off all the time. And Shift works there. As you can see, I've checked several boxes at once, right from, to. And to go back to the default, also right click, and you get everything back here. Okay, we're done with that. We've blocked everything for the administrator. And for everyone, here we have Add and Modify blocked for everyone. Now we need to change this one thing. And we need to say, first of all, it's not editable for the user. So the manager, the director and the accountant will be able to switch users. But the user will not be able to switch users. Okay, and now we're in the administrator. Let's check user. User can't change this field, that is he is now locked only in his own strings. This prefilter is bound to these users. And there is not only visibility, that is, even if he gets in through JavaScript and tries to change a string that is not within the interval of the prefilters blocked for him, he will be blocked on the server. He can't get information from there. He can't change it there, everything, that is. We have a hard blocking for the user to the strings. But we need to write a code that will check the following. It will check the role. So if it's a role with user, let's see what number it is. This is role number 5. If it's role number 5, then it's going to show this user right here, as it's doing right now. Now user. And we write the code here if now roles is not now user already. Now roles is 5. Then this is now user. And in all other cases, we say asterisk, all, asterisk. Okay, let's see. Since we're the administrator, it automatically shows us all. Switching all users. Okay, it shows us users, it's blocked for him. Go to manager. It shows us all. And we can switch to some other user. Okay, let's go back to admin. And let's set the conditions for these. For paid, we have a simple condition here, we just need to change the default. From all to false, so by default we only show those that are not paid. So there you go. Oh, no, not, but accepted. We had unfinished titles here. We'll say not paid here. And these are paid. That's it, paid. Okay, here they are, not paid. And we can also say, show me the ones that have been paid. And this is where the next story comes into play, that when we select, for example, paid, we will eventually accumulate a large number of these invoices. And it can be a very large list. And our client, our browser will not be able to handle it. That's why in the table settings we're going to do pagination. This right here is what's responsible for this setting, pagination. And we're going to say, well, display, for example, 1,000 per page on desktop and 100 after the slash on mobile. And we also did the next story here. Put 2 asterisks and a maximum possible input size. more than which you can't enter at all. Let's make it 5,500. Okay, when we've entered that, we'll have a paginator here like this. If we try to enter 6,000, we had a maximum of 5,000, and it's going to max out at 5,000 here. Now we only see the paid rows. The moment we put here, A, you can't put accepted here first, and now you can put paid. It won't disappear immediately, but when we refresh the page, it will go invisible. We had to do the same as we did for users, for to pay, and for accepted, to write the codes that are linked to the role and we want if we are a director. When we go in, we want to see only those invoices that we have assigned to the required to pay. We'll see, we have director role number 7. If we want the role with 7 to be in, to pay, then we want to see only those that are true. The rest will be the floor like this, so we are an administrator, we see everything. And if we log in as director, we can only see the accounts that are in, to pay. For example, let's put Apple for 1,000 in to pay. Okay, we are the director. We log in and see, to pay. We say, okay, I authorize to pay. We could add a comment field here, so that we can write, I won't pay for this because it's complete nonsense. Reduce the price by half, or something else. At the same time, I, as a director, can look at it, switch to everything, quite. It should not be forbidden to do that. Let's do the same for accepted, for the role of accountant. So what we're saying is that if also the code, execute the code when adding that if our role, well, the user role that opens the table is accountant, 8th, then we only want to see those that are true. Else we want to see all. All. So here we go. Save and check for the accountant account, and we can't see anything because we have an error somewhere here in the binding. Let's go back to admin. And I probably made a mistake right here. I didn't bind this field. It's bound to accepted, but it should be paid true. Okay, let's try it again. Accountant. And here we see only those invoices that we have in payment. We can't change that. The maximum we can do is to indicate that we have paid all of them. Okay, let's go back. All the paid invoices are gone. That's probably it for this video. The next video will be the last one with some more minor tweaks.